So as we're to understand, you're refusing to cooperate.
You know, I'm not... I don't know. In terms of psychics, reading my future, I'm not sure about that. I mean,
Oh! Ow! Ow! What did we do? Get your head down! Spread them! Stand back! Don't make me do it! Don't make me do it!
I'm sorry.
So it just immediately makes me think of, like, Mob Psycho 100 now.
No.
It's like, there are warriors to protect us against the supernatural and the spirits that live in our world. They're called psychics.
Yeah. And the strongest amongst them is a little kid with insecurity issues who is just so overpowered that it's ridiculous. And his theme?
That's probably the best overpowered protagonist show I've ever seen.
It's up there. I would say it's up there. I'd say it's more consistent than One Punch Man. I love One Punch Man too.
Like I could very well end up liking One Punch Man more by the time it finishes, but the fact that Mob is already finished, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I know as a whole, like, that it's one of my favorites for sure.
Oh, dude.
I really like One Punch Man too.
Well, Mob Psycho, I think, paced itself really good and finished when it should have. I think there was...
Well, I kind of wanted a little more, like, to be honest.
I get that, but at the same time, they did leave it open for more stuff if need be. I mean, there were still questions about, like, the other psychic groups out there that were part of that overall group that we didn't see. And I know that, they took out the big bad leader. It's like, yeah, they did, but does that mean that all of the bad psychics are gone now? I don't think so. And plus, there's possibilities of a continuation of the story. But I think it will be if, the writer is comfortable enough doing that. And maybe one day he will be. But for right now, it is what it is. And I'm very happy with where the main story ended for now. I mean...
So if y'all are watching this and you haven't watched Mob Psycho 100 yet, we highly recommend it.
Yes. And if you want to see a reaction series to the whole damn thing, hey, feel free to check ours out. We did a whole series to it, and it was a lot of fun.
But obviously support the original.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. We always say, like, after, we recommend, like, if you... we always recommend you watch the original, and if you want to see a reaction series after that, feel free to go ahead and check ours out. But anyway, yeah. So, The Time Sidekicks Read My Future by Jaden Animation. I guess let's just go ahead and check it out. I don't know what else to say except for, let's go.
When it comes to the spirit world, supernatural, chakras,
Mothman?
I'm indifferent. Normally, I just don't mess with any of it. Whether it's real or not, I'm sure not gonna fool around and find out.
I have a prediction.
I'm here to live as normal
There's
a life
about
I
to
can.
be a pupper on the screen.
I'll be damned.
I was right.
Pupper has appeared. And he is wanting...
Stinky.
You need a bath, buddy. You need a bath real bad.
I'm sure not gonna fool around and find out. I'm here to live as normal a life I can, die, and then we can go from there. But I got curious. What would happen if I individually booked readings with a bunch of psychics? I mean, I don't even know what they do. I just know something about them being made of crystals and having 3 eyes or something. It's a world I've never explored before.
That's what I hadn't
Until
heard
today,
before.
I didn't even know what to expect. Would they all say the same thing, different things? Would they say I'm cursed and demand to put a ritual on me? Who knows? I booked a reading with 5 different psychics. Let's see what they all said about me.
I'm not even sure if we could track down 5 different psychics in our area.
Oh, I can track them down.
Oh, really?
There's a bunch of, like, at-home, like, palm readers and psychics that, you go into their home. They have a specific room that has a bunch of charms and bells and whistles and shit like that hanging on the... yeah. Asher's little jowl. Like... Pupper blubber. It's okay, buddy. We love. Aww.
Like a rooster.
Yeah, he's got a waddle just like a freak. Yeah. That's good. All right, but yeah. Anyway, back to this.
consistency in all of this is possible, you know, scientific method and all that. So I specifically booked a tarot card reading and palm reading from all 5 of them.
Okay, so here's the thing with the scientific method versus you know, psychic readings and all that. I hate to say it, but you know, a lot of the psychic methods and psychic stuff out there are mostly people using tricks to fool you into thinking that they're reading you, when in truth they've actually done research on you before you actually show up. A lot of them are. And the ones that don't do that are usually just like, they're very in general with their predictions. It's just like, you'll be met with great fortune in the future. It's like, do you know when? I'm not seeing a precise reading on your palm. And it's like, yeah, they always do that.
Yeah.
But there are people out there who I do believe do have something, but it's just undetermined, like 100% what it is, you know, like a connection to the other side or an actual medium or something like that. I don't know. But there's also stuff in the scientific method that is unexplained, and a lot of people usually use Occam's razor, and because it's unmeasurable, they think therefore it does not affect anything. However, yeah, a lot of people were not aware of radiation for a long time, and because it couldn't be measured, you know, they didn't take it into account. But yet
People
now
could have chalked it up to being cursed in some cases.
exactly,
and stuff like that.
and there's truths out there that we
The rock he brought from the cave brought a sickness upon the village. It is a curse.
Yes, exactly. Never mind the fact that they literally plucked a big old chunk of uranium out of the earth, and no wonder it's making everyone sick. But that's the thing. It's just like, but what I'm saying is the scientific method is not always the truth, and you should not approach it as though it's the truth. Instead, you should see it as a way to peel back the layers of things that we know, and you know, if there's unexplained stuff happening, you shouldn't just like just completely disregard it as just like not affecting anything or having zero effect, because you don't know. And until
I view this kind of thing as a form of entertainment, to be honest.
I could see it more entertaining
It's
than
like, I know it's not really real, but it's entertaining to me.
yeah.
Like, and the idea of going and having someone pull my tarot cards and stuff would be entertaining to me, even if I don't believe them, you know.
Fair enough.
So,
Yeah, but anyway, in terms of the scientific method and in terms of like tarot card readings and psychics, I mean, I've had doubts casted on my faith in the scientific method because of just like how, like, for me it's the arrogance of man that is often the biggest folly, is because men, like the arrogance of humanity, the arrogance of all humankind basically is just like, yeah, we already know enough to know like what's truly out there. No, we don't. And anyone out there, I actually came across people who said that, and one of them was a science professor of mine. I'm like, how can you say that as a man of science, that we know enough to know that there's nothing else out there? It's like that's ignorance. Like, that's sheer freaking ignorance. Anyway, sorry, but back to this.
That way, they're all reading the same things for me, and we get to be good little scientists in the supernatural community. Anyway, Psychic 1. I walked into the shop and saw a table with a bunch of candles and crystals on it. You know, the typical psychic stuff. Now,
Ooh.
I've never gone to a psychic at this point.
Is that
I
a
didn't know what they were
chaos
going to do
symbol?
to me.
Yes, it is.
or is that like the Sims?
The typical
the
psych
Sims
op,
is
and saw a table
Sims is like a
Sims
full
is a
like
diamond.
like a full like diamond. Yeah,
full with a bunch of candles and crystals on it.
that is a Chaos Emerald.
That's what it looks like.
Also,
I mean, it could be from anything.
also, this is definitely a tribute to Mob Psycho right there.
Yeah, it could be actually.
You know, the typical psychic stuff. Now,
Also, another
I've
tribute.
never gone to a psychic at this point. I didn't know what they were
Who
going to do
dat?
to me. Were they gonna
Hey,
It's Dimple.
It is. Okay, so
say
she does
my
know about
name and
Mob
say they've been
Psycho.
expecting me, and for all I know, a real-life wizard could walk through the door and speak in riddles to me
Jaden, you must take the ring into Mordor.
the whole time. But Psychic 1 was a 5-foot-tall middle-aged white lady in a black spaghetti-strapped tank top and a ponytail. All the psychics had a bit of a different method of doing the tarot card reading, but the overall gist is they had me put my right hand over the stack of cards, say my full name, then I pulled 18 cards that would determine my reading. Psychic 1 pulled the cards herself though. I didn't get to pick them, so I don't know if that was a non-regulation move or all the other psychics let me pick my cards.
She was wanting your money, Jaden. She just wanted to get it over quick.
Just saying. She started with what she read about me as a person. I'm my own boss and don't like being told what to do, which is like half true. Well, being my own boss is full true. Hi guys. In normal day-to-day life, I love having someone else tell me what to do. It's just nice to turn my brain off and put someone else behind the wheel. But with YouTube, it's true. I don't like...
I don't know. I do things that are necessary. I don't like putting myself like out of control of my own body. I instead just I try to stay like in the driver's seat the whole time. The only time I've ever like turned it off and like only time I turned it off and like let someone else take over is whenever I'm in like an experience. And what I mean by that is, you know, watching a movie that I'm really into, playing a game that I'm really into, because a lot of times those experiences just pull you in and completely just like absorb you, and you aren't in full control anymore, and it's okay.
So, as someone who worked, I think like 5 years as middle management, I enjoyed a lot of aspects of it. Like, I enjoyed being able to do things that people lower on the ladder than me were not allowed to do. Like, I could get change out of the safe for people and myself. Like,
change?
Stuff like that. I got to do bank runs more often, usually because of when I would come in. That was mostly because of the schedule. But, like, I don't know, just different things I got to do that I couldn't do. But also, any shift I worked with one of the other managers that was above me was usually my preferred shifts, because anything that went wrong during that shift was on them, not me.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and usually when things
I got
go
told
wrong,
specifically what the best ideas would be to do in their opinion at any given moment, so that I didn't have to come up with all the plans myself.
Yeah, and usually when things go wrong with me or with the channel and, you know, the stuff overall, a lot of that blame usually falls on me. And I try to rise up to the challenge, because, you know, what else am I gonna do?
Like being told what to do. With the Pokemon XD video, I was asking Jacob what I should do with the thumbnail, and he said I shouldn't have Shadow Lugia in it because it's not that eye-catching. And I was like, no, I'm putting Shadow Lugia in the thumbnail because I love Shadow Lugia. And then I did. So the psychic's pretty on point so far. She said I don't like asking people for things. Everything I have, I worked to gain with my own 2 hands. I'm gonna live a long and healthy life beyond my 80s, and I'm gonna have 3 kids.
That last one I don't know about, considering she's supposed to be Arrow Ace.
Well, people who are Arrow Ace at the moment are aromantic and asexual. However, that doesn't mean that they're like they're completely devoid of like the desire to have children. I mean, there's people who I know that, you know, are a bit who aren't as romantically like attached to their partner, but they love being a mother. They thrive at being a mother, and they don't really have like as romantic feelings for the person that they had children with, but they still enjoy being friends with and still enjoy being in like a more commonplace relationship with that person. And it doesn't mean like they have like a very like intense, intimate relationship the whole time. And you know what? That's okay, because it's just, you know, there are people out there who do wish and have the desire to have children, but they don't have the desire or the wish to be romantic with anybody. And that's fine. I know people like that.
All of those things are pretty fair. I do think you could say that to the majority of people, though. Even if it's not genuinely true to their personality, I think most people like to believe that's the type of person they are. And if I don't live to be 80, what am I gonna do? Sue her? But that's the very strong skeptic in me talking. She do know me for real, for real. Then she asked if I had any questions for her, and I told her that I constantly worry that my birds are gonna die in some freak accident or sudden disease, or they get out and fly away never to be seen again. She pulled more cards cards and said she sees that they're safe, but would recommend placing a spiritual protection over them, which was very interesting to hear. From what she explained, I'd be doing a 3-day, 3-night meditation for them to create a spiritual barrier that can protect them physically, mentally, and
Love the brain has an arm and muscle all its own.
medically. Promising medical protection is a big deal. You can't just throw that around lightly, might I just say. And to perform the meditation, I would need to buy the materials from her to do it.
Aha! That's the hook. That's the hook right there. It's just like, if you do this, I can give you the materials to do it, and it'll cost you a little bit. But you know, seeing as how I see you care for these animals, I'll give you a slight discount. That's always the thing, and it's usually shit that costs. They'll charge you like $30, and it's stuff that you can get off of like Amazon for like $1 a piece.
In retail, we call that upselling, but we're trying to actually get you to get stuff that we know you would also benefit you.
Exactly. You see, in retail and stuff like that, you want to build rapport with people that it's actually going to benefit them, and thus be like, hey, the stuff I bought from this guy and the stuff he recommended really worked last time. So
you're picking up a DualSense 5. Do you have a charging dock? No? Dude, if you have 2 DualSense 5s, the one came with your system, the one you're buying right now, and you have a charging dock, you never have to plug it into your system ever again.
Exactly. And there you go, right there. Boom, you've made a sale. You made a sale, and you've enriched
Not with
their
that,
life.
because I quit working at, GameStop
Well, no,
since the PS5.
I know. Well, I know,
but right now.
But like I'm saying, but right there, you would have made a sale. I feel like 100%, because they'd look at the price of it.
Not 100%, but it works half the time at least.
Fair enough.
Depends on how much money somebody's got to spend right now, you know?
Yeah, true.
She was very big on making sure I knew I wasn't paying for her time, just the materials. Which, how thoughtful. Until she dropped the materials would cost $427.
Hell no.
Nah, I guarantee you, charge $427 for it, she probably got all that stuff all together for like $20.
On this whole session, so
dude,
we're all up to speed.
Lower it to something reasonable, dude. You'll sell them more and it'll make up for itself.
You know, I would say if you offered it, you see pricing as well as that's why instead of charging someone $10 for something, instead they charge them $9.99, because that little less extra digit that's there really entices people to buy something. So instead of doing $427, I would have done, I will sell you this stuff to do this for $199.
See, I'm thinking $80.
$80, like that.
Depending on how much what it was I was giving to people, but I would try to find an accumulation of things that cost me at most like $20, like you said.
Yeah.
Sell it for $80.
Yeah.
And I'd probably pull it off a lot more often, because people would be like, "Oh, I care about my pets." Like $80 is a drop in the bucket to care about my pets a little more compared to $420. Is like, I might need that for a vet bill tomorrow, dude.
You say that, and it's like me looking at. As someone who spent over $5,000 trying to
But
help
you
Lulu.
didn't spend that on psychics.
No, I didn't. I spent that on
people that know what they're doing.
And that's the point I'm getting at. It's just like, as someone who spent $5,000 at the vet, I get the point you're making, and yeah, that would make a lot more sense. And for those of you wondering, I spent over $5,000 on my pet cat Lulu, and it didn't work. Yeah, so even medical technology failed me. So.
Yeah, it's like, at least, the vet is somebody you trust that knows what they're doing. Like with a situation like a psychic.
Yeah, if I would have
skeptical already,
if I would have done the psychic thing for Lulu and she would have died anyway, I'd have just it's like, well, that's an extra $80 that I don't have on me.
It's like my way of looking at it from the perspective of running this kind of a business, I don't know whether you consider it legitimate or not, is that yeah, it's a big hit when you get a sucker in there.
Yes.
But you could probably sell it to half skeptical people as well if it was less money.
Well, and I would think that you could gauge the price, like how much you're going to charge someone. Like if someone's really into it, then you could charge them like the full price. But then you'd see a semi-skeptical person. Then you could pull that price down a little bit to where you won't make as much money, but you'll still be pulling in a profit. That's just like us whenever we're we're going to be buying these hats that we can order off Amazon for like $4 a piece, and we're gonna be selling them at the shows for like $10 to $15 a piece, and that's profit. That's pure profit right there. We're basically making 2 to 2.5 to 3 times as much off those, and the reason for that is because our merchandise at these shows sells out really quickly. And for those of you wondering, it's we're doing a wrestling show, and I'm part of a group called the White Claw Outlaws. And yeah, anyway, let's...
Greeting. This lady learned I'm my own boss, am successful enough to run my own animation team, care very deeply about my birds, enough to pay a psychic $90 to ask about their safety, and all I have to do to fully protect them from basically anything and everything in this world is set up this spiritual protection for the low price of $427. I didn't know you could repel cancer for under $500. Someone distract the government. I think we're onto something here. I just told her I don't have the money for it right now. A lie she most definitely didn't believe at that point, but I had to say something to stop this snowball in its tracks. And immediately she said, "That's fine, but this isn't something you should wait a long time on." Thank you, we'll be in touch. I never
Bye.
went back. For that being my first psychic reading experience, it spawned so many questions, but it did answer one I had beforehand, which was, how do psychics even stay in business? Because I am now starting to understand the business model going on here. Moving on to Psychic 2, I'll say this right now, this one was my favorite.
Hey,
And we
Maya.
had a lot of good small talk. Her psychic reading room was a little closet in her house, and by the end of the session, it was very warm in there. But I had a nice time. Same situation, got a tarot card and palm reading. I think she said she gave me...
Hey.
But I had
I
a nice
love
time.
the
Same situation,
oversized
Her big
hand.
sister too.
Reading.
I love the oversized
Yeah.
hand, just wapow.
I think she
I just
said
love
she
the
gave me
Ace
a
Attorney
general
references.
Oh yeah, with her older sister
Mia.
Mia and my
spiritual rating as well, and this all cost $90 just like the last one. What she said was all very positive. She said she sees me making a name for myself in whatever industry I'm in.
and it's
Mhm.
exactly
That's
what you
the
did.
first thing
Hmm.
she said to me. I didn't tell her about my job or anything. She sees a lot of new and exciting opportunities coming for me in the new year. I got all these readings done late 2022, so by the time this video actually comes out, we get to see if that's true. She also said I'm planned to live a long and healthy life past my 80s, and she foresees me moving to a different location sometime when I'm older, which is most likely true. I don't like LA, it freaks me out.
Hey, Jaden, I can make a recommendation. I know that everyone's moving to Austin, and I know that there's a lot of people moving to, like, Florida and Georgia, but I can also recommend a nice, quiet place for you to mellow out, but still semi-metropolitan enough for you to enjoy various things out there. Tri-Cities, Tennessee. Either that or Nashville, because, God, everyone's moving to friggin' Nashville. No one's moving to Memphis, that's for sure.
I've not
Jesus.
heard the best things about Nashville.
It's better than Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis is actually on the list of like the top 20 worst places to live right now, or most dangerous places to live in the United States.
And Dan, our wrestling instructor, he lived in Memphis most of his life. I'm talking like over 40 years of his life he lived in Memphis. And he moved over here, and he said he went from, people like running down the streets yelling, "Your ass better have my money," to old women on the porch yelling, "You better get your ass back in this house before I find you with this switch." And it's just like, damn, this is quite the culture shock. And yeah, you'll find some hucksters and some country folk around here, but they aren't as prominent as you'd think.
She identified my bad time of the day, which she said is 3 a.m. Again, true. If life gets a bit too hard to handle, I will absolutely have a meltdown in bed at that time. But also,
My bad
everyone- time.
time of the day is whatever time I have to wake up. Because I always feel like shit when I wake up.
Has
The
a
first
meltdown.
hour after being awake, that's my bad time of the day.
For me, it's like the couple hours before sleep, before I actually fall asleep, because I'm just like, do I stay up and finish more stuff so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow? But I don't really want to mess up my sleep schedule. God, what? And I often like talk myself into depression by the end of it, and by the time I lay down, I'm just like, I should have stayed up later.
When they're broken and it's late at night. That's a universal bad time. They even wrote a rule in life about it. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. But it's good to be more aware of because
Incorrect. I've had... Actually, I can't discuss that on here. Moving on.
I forget, and 3 a.m. hits different some nights. She said I've always been connected to animals.
Also, it depends on your sleep schedule, I think, as a night owl.
Oh, for you, 3 a.m. is just...
It's a great time. Like, I'm chilling by myself in my room playing video games.
Oh, yeah.
Mother of
If
three.
you're depressed and you're chilling by yourself in your room, it's probably not that great, though. But, you know.
Yeah.
Different some nights.
Different
She
for
said
everybody.
Uh-huh.
I've always been connected to animals. I'm gonna be a mother of 3.
Again with the mother of 3.
Okay, the other psychic did say that. Mental note. And for some reason said I should get into hiking, which just sounds like a nice hobby recommendation. I didn't know tarot cards and palms could say that. I asked her about my birds. I didn't get the spiritual protection from the other psychic, so they are still in jeopardy. And she said although she's reading that they should be safe, if I'm worried about any medical issues, I should just go to the vet and get general checkups done.
That's a better...
That is a much better...
That's less scammy sounding.
Exactly.
Like, I like that.
Which, you know, I respect a lot. I came in asking about the health and safety of my animals, and she told me what she read, but if I'm actually concerned, to just go to a doctor. And didn't charge me $427 for it. Overall, Psychic 2 was very nice. She gave me a good reading, didn't try to sell me anything, and reminded me that doctors exist. Psychic 3 was kind of back in the same vein as Psychic 1.
That looks familiar, too. Is that Pokemon?
Oh, God, is
Is that
that...
a Psychic Gym Leader?
Yeah, from, what's her name? I know the one, she's... Yeah, God, it's gonna irk me now.
She almost immediately said I'm gonna live past my 80s and have 3 kids. Alright. She said she sees me having good financial fortune and good opportunities.
What you gotta figure out is you gotta get a friend to go to these same 3 psychics.
Yeah.
That's also a female, and see if they tell her the same thing with the 3 kids. Because if they don't, then But that might just be what they say to literally everyone.
Yeah. They may look at me and just be like, you are going to die alone and you're going to be dead within 10 years. That's it? Yeah, that's it. Really? Really? No great fortune or anything like that? It's like, your best days are behind you.
Damn. You just paid for depression.
Like, and then wow. just like, I was like, oh man. All right, how much will that be? It's like, I'm charging you double because you're depressed. I'm now depressed by reading your... Exactly. Next thing you know, I'll have to pay $180 and I'm just walking out of there with an empty wallet. I'm like...
It's like, thanks for ruining my day for knowing somebody as pathetic as you exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, but she also said in August, a man with a beard and or mustache is gonna approach me with a business opportunity and to be wary of him. And then, before I could...
In August?
So wait until after those months if you decide to collaborate with Jaden or anything.
I don't think I'm ever gonna see Jaden. Like the last time we saw her was at the Scribble Showdown show, and we didn't even get to go back and see her, even though her dad paid for like fronted our tickets for. Yeah, that's right, Jaden's dad. Which hi Hugo, he made and that's the thing. Initially, I didn't believe it was Hugo, and then I was like, "Holy shit, it is Hugo! He for real?" And I actually have chatted with Hugo. Very, very nice man. And I was going to say, if I ever do meet Jaden in person, I think the only thing I'm just gonna say is, "Hey, love what you do. Keep going with it." Also, my friend Nick has a crush on you.
I'm not afraid to it.
I know. Me, I don't know. I'll probably
She's
just...
very cool and very pretty.
Yes. I know one thing I'll say. Hold on. Real quick. I'll just be like this. Jaden. Want to smash? Smash Bros, dude. She's a huge Smash Bros fan. Oh, come on. That's at least a fairly decent joke. Also, I don't think the Wavebird works on modern, or works on like with the Switch dongle and everything. So yeah, I'll have to actually get a legit. Well, I actually do have legit GameCube controllers over there, but
You're gonna get demonetized for saying Smash and dongle so close together.
Hey, moving on. Moving on. Had to ruin it, didn't you? You had to ruin it. Jesus Christ. And that's the thing. I'm not gonna say I'm not attracted to Jade in any way, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know. I mean, I know you're very you're more attracted to her than I am, and me, I just find her to be an interesting person. I'd just like to get to know her as a friend, and just she's probably got too many people in her life already who are her friends. Because the personal cap on friends you can have in your life is 150, because that's the normal human limitation of amount of friends / acquaintances you can have in your life. Mm-hmm. And she's probably already filled up the cup of friends and people she wants to get to know in her life. But if I had an opportunity to meet her, I'd shake her hand and I'd basically just be like, hey, love what you do. Your videos are cool. And also, I have a business proposition for you. I'm joking.
Could even process that. She said I may be involved in a light car accident in the next few months, possibly a fender bender. This is the first psychic that was this blunt about straight up predicting things, and by the time this video comes out, those months would have passed already, so I'll add right now if I was in a car accident. She also said someone near me is gonna have a baby and that I'm gonna become very attached to it. And that's gotta be the most incorrect sounding prediction of all the psychics so far, because I am not a fan of babies. I don't like them. I think they are weird and unpredictable. I do not care who in my group of family or friends has a baby. I'm staying the hell away from it. She went back to reading me as a person, said I'm very trusting and to be aware of jealous people that are around me. In this industry, that's pretty fair. Then she said...
To be honest, since Jaden was brave enough to say that, I'll admit, kind of same.
What with?
Well, the thing with babies for me is that the sound of a baby crying actually hurts my head.
Fair enough.
So I just kind of try to avoid them where possible.
Fair enough. I don't know, me. I like kids. I've always been a fan of
Also, there's just nothing appealing about the idea of potentially being peed, pooped, and puked on either. So.
Well, I was going to say, too late for me, because I had to help raise my nephews, and also had to care for my grandfather, who was paraplegic, and I had to help him out. I was basically his caregiver for the better part of 4 years.
But if I ever marry someone, and then we decide maybe we want a kid, I'm going to toss out the suggestion, hey, any shot you'd be down for maybe adopting a kid that's past the pooping, peeing, vomiting everywhere and the shrill screaming years?
Maybe.
Because that would be kind of legit.
Well, honestly, for me, I don't know. I'd be down for that, but I'd also for my partner, I would like to ask them, be like, hey, are you is it cool if you want to have a kid and I want to have a kid? But at the same time, if you aren't comfortable with having a kid, would adoption be on the table? I would still want my first option to be an actual kid, because it's not the biological thing about passing on the genes or anything like that.
See, I just don't have that desire in my soul myself.
Fair enough. But for me, I don't know. I hear for me, I just have I don't know. I guess I just have a nurturing nature in my body, from where I'm I'm a naturally caring person, like my mom and my dad. I think I'm more like my mom in terms of that, but I also think I'm more like my dad in terms of my sternness and my more straightforward nature, where my mom's a bit more aloof with how she approaches things. But I don't know if that's a good combination to be a dad, but maybe one day, we'll see.
seemed like I had a big purchase on my mind, to which I admitted there was something expensive I saw that I've had my mind on for a while. She asked what it was because she foresaw it being good for me, and I told her about the new giant Altaria plush that Pokemon announced.
That is also fair.
It is also very positive because, hey, it's a big huggable plush that you can just tote around your room.
It's like the poofiest thing you would own.
Exactly.
Why would you not want one?
Plus, Altaria is freaking awesome. I mean, come on.
I don't think that's what she expected because she seemed to lose a little focus after that one. But I did end up buying it. I asked about my birds, just like I have been for all of them, and she said they seem safe. However, after reading me for so long, she sensed my chakras were imbalanced, which was a shame because I could have sworn they were properly aligned. Anyway, she would like to help with them.
And here it comes.
With
Lay it on us.
Worth of
How much did she ask for? I'm gonna guess $500.
Said sure, and she hit me with the meditation prayer bit and how I'm only paying for the materials and not her time, and they're gonna cost $375.
Damn.
Much cheaper.
Damn it. I was.
It's a little cheaper. It's still not cheap enough in my opinion.
Than Psychic 1, but man, that's like the same setup and kicker. And no medical protection to boot. I politely declined and left. I gotta say though, this Psychic was the first one to straight up tell me, you're gonna be in a car accident. A bearded man is gonna approach you in August.
I'm not good.
Like just real life things. Whether or not they come true, you gotta respect that gamble. Definitely
right?
an all
Because
or
it's
nothing
like,
type of
yeah, it's like you're definitely not getting a return customer if that stuff doesn't actually come true.
Yeah, but at the same,
like, if it does, you probably got a customer for life. Like, well, you got a customer until you give them another definite prediction like that doesn't come true.
Well,
at least.
and also I can respect this Psychic for playing it safe in the beginning, but then like throwing a Hail Mary with those predictions and just like actually trying to do something different. I respect it.
Psychic. She was also the most expensive one yet. The other psychics were both $90, but this one charged me $162 for the release. Now,
I wouldn't have gone to her in the first place.
No.
Nah.
My cap would be at like $100.
Like I said, I view it as entertainment. $90 is fair entertainment for a few hours of a day. Like one time thing I'm gonna do, you know.
Yeah.
162, like I better.
Dude,
there better be some fucking buffet included.
I could take you to that massage parlor, and for less than $100, you and I can get like high quality massages from these like these little Chinese women, who by the way are freakishly strong, dude. like I'm gonna be honest. This little woman, she was like about the same height as Kate. She beat the shit out of me for an hour.
Yeah,
and
she does it for a profession.
Yes, but that's the thing. She didn't stop. Like usually, you take a break and you let your hands like the soreness wear down. Nah, instead it was just like okay, you good? You good? Okay.
Damn.
And it's just like I thought she did a Randy Savage style like flying elbow drop on my freaking back. But you know what? I didn't complain once. That wasn't until she got to my lower back because I have some lower back issues. And at that point I was just like, And she was like, you okay? You good? I'm like, good. And she kept going, and yeah. Oh. She also like popped my lower back like 3 times. And I was just like, oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. And then she massaged my leg. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was nude during this. So I was under a towel. And I was just, like, saying to myself, I mean, I'm in here, and I want the best massage possible. And according to the people who have been here before, who I trust, they say in order to get the best massage, you gotta be naked. So, yeah. Oh, boy.
So for $162, I want food. I want to see some sort of exotic animal. Like,
dude,
there needs to be some extra on top of just...
Imagine like a peacock walking around behind her as she's making these predictions, and it like sits down behind her and just like
thinking
flutters its tail up and everything.
$162 is like a trip out for the day to like the aquarium and the restaurant and some shit like that.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh dude, we could go to Freiburg, Silver Ball City. We could Dude, we could clean up and have a full day with that.
Pretty sure I could have a Gatlinburg trip with $162.
You could definitely have a Gatlinburg trip. There's definitely places you can go there that are really cheap.
I don't think the aquarium's very expensive unless they've raised prices since last time I went.
Well, no, I mean, not really, and I don't think they have much. And of course, there's also like various entertainment stuff there. You know, like that house of it's the place that's upside down.
The most expensive part of that trip would be the gas.
Yes. Which, you know, if we carpool, I think we'd be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Was a doozy, might I tell you. I walked up to her shop door, entered the room, and no one was there. I immediately walked back out because it's weird to be just there alone, and texted her I was here, to which she responded, "Give me 15 minutes. Kind of strange a psychic is running late, but I'm not here to get into that irony, so I just sat on a little chair and waited outside. 15 minutes passed, then 20, 30. This lady was 40 minutes late to a psychic reading.
Also, she's wearing a she's wearing a Joker pin right there.
Is that what that's supposed to be?
I think so.
Yeah, actually, I think she might be a Persona character.
Pushed it aside because whatever, and we started. She let me pick my tarot cards, laid them out in the formation, and told me she's very surprised I picked a lot of queen cards. Apparently, in the standard tarot card deck of 78 cards, there's 4 queens, and I randomly picked 3 of them. She explained that's no
Queen of Bands. I love it. It's Freddie Mercury.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
no accident. So you heard it here first, people. Certified and indisputable queen over here.
Yeah.
The stars said so. She led with how she sees I have a good, strong energy. I work for everything I have. I've got good financial stability. I'm gonna run my own company and be a good leader. But she sees a lot of jealous people around me and to be careful about them. I tried to explain YouTube to her because I felt like that would explain all the things she just said, since all things considered, it's pretty accurate. But after like 5 minutes of trying to explain what a YouTube channel is, she just gave up and was like, "Sorry, I just don't understand technology." Fair enough.
Yeah, it says the woman, it gives the woman who's like 40 minutes late. Yeah, you probably don't even, I'm surprised you know how to work a cell phone.
She apparently doesn't, because she would have set an alarm reminding her that she should have been at her fucking psychic reading she had scheduled.
Bing, bing. Correctamundo.
All of what she said was surprisingly accurate, but I'm always wary of what can be used as a blanket statement, especially when it comes to the financial stuff, because I don't know, I think going to psychics is a bit of a luxury expense. Not everyone can
Coconut Mall.
$100 just to be told they've got positive vibes and are going to be in a car accident. But then
I just love the fact that Jade was using Coconut Mall, and then right when she like lays the money down, it's the cha-ching.
$100 just to be told they've got positive vibes and are going to be in a car accident. But then Psychic 4 said, "I don't know how you do it, but you're making at least X per month," and gave me a very specific range of what I actually do make per month. That's what definitely perked my ears up. You know, I don't have a normal job, and even after not understanding how I make money, she was able to drop a number that was pretty close, all things considered. Then she said she sees me living a long and healthy life and that I'm gonna be a mother of 3. I haven't directly talked about it yet, but I would like to say it's hauntingly strange how literally all 4 psychics have told me I'm gonna be a mother of 3. None of them even asked me if I like kids in the first place. They just straight up told me point blank. I don't know what about me is giving off I'm gonna have 3 kids vibes, but it needs to stop. I absolutely do not want 3 kids. It's too many kids for me to handle. I'm gonna have to figure out how to change the fates, like, immediately, because it's all feeling a bit too real at this point.
Well, I mean, you don't have to raise the kids alone. I mean, hell, I mean, you had your mom and your dad your whole life. I mean, and you turned out great. And your brother did, and like, from what I understand, the rest of your family did too. What?
You have, you know, your potential partner to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Potential partner. No, I'm just kidding.
I get it, Nick. I get it.
They also all said I was gonna live a healthy life past my 80s, so if I die at 50, I want all of my money back. Anyway,
Yeah.
Psychic 4 kept talking, saying it seemed my birds are safe, because I asked, but there seems to be a negative energy trying to attack them, to which she'll start meditating to protect them. Also, my chakras seem unaligned, and my third
Again.
eye isn't very developed, despite how old my soul is.
I'm gonna say, I actually have a crease right in the middle of my forehead. It's actually weird. Actually, it's weird because I have a random hair follicle right here in the middle of my forehead, and it grows a hair out of it. Guess what color? Blonde. Do I look like a fucking blonde? Why do I have a random hair in the middle of my head that... I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Which sure is the sentence. So she recommended a chakra meditation thing. She had me lay on her table under a lamp of RGB crystals and turned on relaxing spa music. Then she told me to close my eyes because when your eyes are closed, your third eye opens, and that's why you dream when you sleep. It's your third eye. You learn something new every day.
Well...
Anyway, I laid there,
I'm just
she
gonna
gave
let it
me
go.
some crystals to hold and put more crystals on my chest and stomach and legs and put a bell on my forehead that she would ring every few minutes. After a bit of
she's
that,
not gonna
she
try to
told
charge
me
her
she had
for
to
this.
leave the room for 5 minutes so her energy doesn't interfere with mine. But I could swear she left me on that table alone and blindfolded for like 15, maybe more. After she remembered
you
was
saw what happened to her
still there.
15-minute guesstimate earlier.
Yeah, it tripled and turned into 40 freaking minutes.
She came back, sprayed me with lavender, which was pleasant, did little karate chops on my body, and then had me sit up. I did hit my head on the RGB crystals, so I hope that didn't jostle my chakras. And that was that. She said I had a lot of energy and that I'm an old spirit, but I need to develop my third eye more, and she's gonna send me home with a couple incense to burn, and that I need to come back tomorrow. At this point, I was in too deep. All the other psychics, I was able to squeeze my way out of these situations, but I just ended up doing it this time. Mainly because she told me to burn incense, but I didn't have an incense burner, and then she lent me hers, and I didn't want to just take it and dip, so I burnt the incense
I wonder if this psychic's playing the long game. You know, loan you this, give you like the incense burner and everything, so it entices you to come back.
She's building a relationship to try
yeah.
to get a repeat customer for sure.
I could see that.
She told me to, and went back the next afternoon thinking that was it, and after that I could start not coming back anymore. But then she gave me some crystals, more incense, and bath salts this time, and told me to meditate in the bath while holding the crystals and also burn more incense.
Jesus Christ, who is this woman? Gwyneth Paltrow?
Which meant I go home with her incense burner again, and that's when my friends told me to stop there and not go back. So I didn't. By the way, she charged me $776.
What the fuck?
Whoa!
That's what I was worried about. I was like, all this like crystal chopping and all this stuff, like, is she gonna charge her for it after it's already done? Like, and come to find out, yeah, she's made her spend more than the previous two tried to charge her for shit to do her run around.
Jesus wept, man.
I have no idea how she did that. She said the chakra thing where I lay on the table was like $100 or $200 extra. And then after we were done, she gave me the card reader and it said $650, to which I was just like, sure, whatever. And then my email receipt said $776. Again, I am reminded of how these people actually stay in business. She called me a queen, gave me a crystal nap, and then took $800 from me. And last but not
Pretty
least,
much.
Psychic 5. So for her, when I called to book an appointment, she told me she only takes cash and that I have to call 30 minutes before our appointment to confirm. So I did that a few days later when our appointment was scheduled, and she's like, oh, I'll be honest, honey, I completely forgot about you. Can we reschedule to tomorrow? Which is like, first of all, how does a psychic forget? I rescheduled to the next day, but a few hours later, she called me back and was like, actually, I overbooked you on top of a different appointment. Can we reschedule to next week?
No!
And at this point, I'm annoyed.
That's a meme face right there.
Yep.
It's just like,
But again, I'm like, whatever. So we reschedule again. I called to confirm 30 minutes before again, and once again, she forgot. So I just gave up. Tell me how many kids I'm gonna have. And that was my
3.
psychic experience. I'm still pretty indifferent about all of it, but I can totally see how and why people can get super into it if they surround themselves with the culture.
Yeah.
See how and
They
why
just,
people
like,
can get
Also,
super
I just see the.
into it if they surround themselves with.
Your mind's eye is now open.
The culture, whether it's real or I believe it or not, it was surprisingly
Believe it.
nice to be told things were gonna be okay. I do think some of them can be a bit predatory on people at their low points, but hey,
Yeesh.
it's great to have my chakras rebalanced.
Uh-oh.
Cool new guy alert. We made a super cute Ari pillow available now. Look
Oh, look at the plush.
at this
That's
big
awesome.
man. He is
Chunky plush.
huge and super soft and awesome. Head over to jadenanimations.com to pick one up. I genuinely love them so much. Also, I've been streaming a lot more recently and wanted to say the influx in art from all of that has absolutely blown me away. Thank you guys all so much. I try to see all of it, but it's quite literally impossible. But yes, thank you, thank you. All right, until next time, bye-bye.
Yeah, I noticed she's been streaming like every day or every
Yes, and honestly, I think that's good for her. I think that she's gotten comfortable to the point of where she's streaming on a regular basis, and I think it's good for her. I think it's getting her out there more, and it's getting her like more comfortable with, being on camera and being on stream. Because for the longest time, no one
She's
knew.
been using a VTuber avatar for some time.
Yes. Well. Again, I think it's because people just feel more of a connection to their audience by using their animated version of themselves. It's just like here, if all of a sudden we switched over to being animated avatars all the time, I'm sure that we would get an influx of new people who would be very interested in that. But I think there would be a lot of people who we've built relationships with in terms of like our community and everything over the last 10 years that would be like, huh, okay, I'm used to seeing you as yourself, and it's just because how our audience has gotten to know us. We've never hidden behind a VTuber or hidden behind a animated little thing, and you know what? That was my choice. That was my choice to basically have a channel where it's just us chilling and hanging out and having fun. Whereas I know it's not as enticing or as engaging as animated, being animated all the time or being a VTuber. But you know what? It's cool. It's fine. I'm perfectly fine with how we've presented it, and I know people would be upset if we changed this late in the game. But if we started something new and we did just VTuber versions of ourselves, I think that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, I wonder what a VTuber version of me would look like. Huh. I was gonna say, I know that I actually paid someone to help you design and make your VTuber version of yourself.
Yeah. It's not quite 100% like where I would want it at, but
No.
there is a existing possible VTuber like prototype for me.
Yeah. In which I wouldn't mind asking someone else to help us make one now that VTubers have become more commonplace. But anywho, I think that's gonna do it for this, everybody. The Time Psychics read my future. So yeah, I guess Jaden is now awoken and now has her third eye wide open, and hopefully you will be wary of the bearded man who is going to make you an offer one day. Specifically, an offer... It's weird considering that, The Offer, which was the title of the short that we made for our SCP series, and now I'm promoting it again to get people over to our other channel, Renegade Films. I wonder if Jaden's going to see that in August, and she's going to see The Offer, and it's just a picture of me walking in, and she's just going to be like, a bearded man making me an offer in August. Okay. Avoid. And she's just gonna never see anything from us ever again because she's just gonna block us. She's just gonna shadow ban us. Which, if that happens, it's whatever. I hope not, because I'd still love to meet Jaden one day, because she seems cool. Anyway, until next time, everybody, signing off. I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
Be sure to check out more from Jaden Animations. Click her name in the title of the video and go show her some love. Like we're showing her some love by leaving a thumbs up on her video. If you want to leave a thumbs up on our video, we'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you then. Peace.